able. He's able. Ah, my brother.
What's up, King?
How's it going? You're the king.
King. What's up, King?
King to king.
Your last name is King.
Yes, it's my bloodline.
Wow. It's my first time meeting you.
Yes, it is.
Like, we've never met before.
I know, but I'm like...
Come on, man.
I mean, you are the...
Where you want to sit?
We're going to sit over there.
Come on.
Kirk, you ready to have a conversation?
Let's go. Come on.
Because I'm gonna,
Come on.
Raindrops, welcome to another episode of Reality with the King. And look, I am in the presence of a legendary, iconic man, okay, who I have listened to since my days growing up in Detroit. And there was this song that would play, I cannot wait to talk to him about this. There was a song that was played on secular radio, because I'm dating myself. And it was like a pop top 40 sensation. But I had no idea it was a gospel song. And it was called The Reason Why I Sing. So I'm here with the man who I consider to be the Michael Jackson of gospel. Give it up for the KIRK Franklin.
First of all, how are you?
It's so nice to meet you finally.
It's an honor meeting you.
This has been years in the making. I think you are the best at what you do. I really do consider you the Michael Jackson of gospel. And I know you're not going to receive that, right? Because you're a humble man.
Well, and that combination seems so very interesting.
Because, sir, when you hit the stage, you are electrifying. I've seen you at concerts.
Really?
Yes, the last one I went to was in Atlanta at State Farm Arena. Tyler Perry was there. Devon Franklin was there. Of course I came to that one.
Why didn't I get a chance to meet you then?
Because
that's crazy.
Because the thing is this, I don't like to impose myself. So Tamar Braxton was there, our mutual friend.
Yes.
And we're like hanging out backstage. I'm with the Clark family and all this stuff. And your beautiful wife Tammy.
Yeah.
But no, you were being bombarded. So I don't want to like mess things up. My brother, when you are on stage, something happens. And I really, that evening said, like, he is the Michael Jackson of gospel. And I know one of the people you look up to the most in this genre is Fred Hammond, who I think is an amazing man and vocalist and just like superb.
Amazing.
When you're on stage, though, something happens. And you start dancing and you start doing
That's
your
what
thing.
I do. That's what I do. I love it. That's what I do.
But do you receive that, or is it hard for you to receive that compliment?
I really don't internalize it. I allow it to kind of just pass on by so we can get to the next part of the conversation. Yeah, so I'm just looking forward to the next question, next part of the conversation, because I mean, for me, is I have my focus on other things, and there are other things that I think are more paramount to the totality of what I strive to be as a man.
Mm-hmm.
I've just made conscious decisions to make certain points of contact, things that I don't really lean into. I just want them to be whatever that is that they are.
Mm-hmm.
It's because I don't want to lose focus. But it's like, it's this interesting dichotomy, because my purpose and my job and my goal is to point people to Christ, right? Like everything I do should be about that. And so when there's always a point of attention that could either detour that or to become a distraction of that, I'm always internalizing the civil war about that. So as much as I enjoy doing what I do, I just always hope that what I do doesn't end with the conversation of just me. That there's a continuum of and he does it for God. You
Yeah.
know, like
Yeah.
I want that to be part of the connection of no matter what I'm blessed or gifted to do or what God has loaned me to do, and he does it for God. Like it's a continued sentence. And so that's why I'm always trying my best, the best I can, and I'm not always good at it, trying to make sure that that's also inclusive
Yeah.
when any conversation that I'm a part of comes up.
Well, I think you do that because listen, one thing I know for sure is that we are all here to be of service.
Yes.
And we are all here to glorify God
Yes.
in
Yes.
everything that we do
Yes.
in life.
Yes.
So I just want you to know that when I listen to your music, as I was, doing earlier, your new single Able, I am somebody that has definitely allowed your music to heal me during dark times. When the pandemic was happening, Kirk, your album, Long Live
Love.
Love. And if I may,
Yes, you may.
the best.
Oh, wow.
I mean,
Wow.
Fathers knows best.
Yeah.
Winter's Promise.
Yeah, just let heaven be real, please.
No, my mother passed away a few months before your album came out.
Wow.
So when I heard Winter's Promise, and for the Raindrops, listen to that song in case you lost your mom or anyone close to you. I sent that to my siblings in our group chat. It's 10 of us. And my sisters, we all just wept because.
Wow.
So I want you to know that I don't want you to ever question whether or not people don't see the workings of God when we look at you, when we see you, when we hear your music, when we get a chance to really be blessed enough to be a part of the world that hears your production. Like Winter's Promise is a song that till this day is hard for me to listen to because the waterworks come out.
Wow.
But speaking of a song like that, like what kind of goes into your mind when you create music of that magnitude?
Thank you for asking me about that one. Because Winter was a young woman that was a friend of our family, and she was a young woman and just died suddenly, sitting on the bed, just suddenly dies. And those type of experiences can shake you so deep into your faith because she was a great woman whose heart for God was huge. And those type of moments, it's like, God, please let there be life after this. Please let everything that we've read, everything that we've heard since we were children, let it not just be folklore. Please, please. And I think that for a Christian to always have a level of arrogant confidence that they never doubt, that they never question, that they never have tension with the hopelessness of, I see what I read and I want to believe what I read, but there are times I question and there are times that I'm afraid and there are times that I have fear and doubt. Like Thomas, help my unbelief. Scripture records is his appeal to Christ. And so that's what Winter's Promise was for me. Just let heaven be real, you know. And that song was a beautiful song to write because it gave me the opportunity to not be Superman. I was able to hide in that song to show really a lot of Kirk. You know, the civil war of I doubt, I don't always trust, I don't always get it, I don't always see, it don't always make sense to me. So please, please in these moments, meet me in my hopelessness and my hurt and just give me a glimpse of knowing that everything that I've given my life for really comes to pass.
When was the last time you questioned God?
I believe that I will always have questions, and I have questions daily. I have doubts and fears daily. But what I have also concluded is that what I don't know does not cancel out what I do know. I've seen too much for it to just be random luck. and for it to be coincidence, for it to be something that is just imaginary, something that was just myth that was rewritten thousands and thousands of years ago just to be able to be controversial and to be more of a medieval narrative. But I've seen enough and experienced enough to know that if there's a watch, there's a watchmaker. Yeah, just even the creation of the universe it's too perfect, and the genius of it, down to the amount of oxygen, down to the amount of the tilting of the earth, so that life can even exist on our planet. Just the evolution of our species. There's just too much for it to just be coincidences, because 1 millisecond of a turning of an event, or a turning of a tide, or a turning of a season can turn the whole world into a typhoon. You know, I mean, there's just too much minimal genius that it just had to happen in this coincidence of this big bang that created everything that needed everything to exist. It's too much. It's too complex, and the complexity of our reality is what gives me the confidence of knowing that before I existed, someone was there.
I want to get into that too, because when you talk about before you were existed, I look at you, and you obviously are a man that has this wealth of wisdom, right?
I don't know.
No, you do. You really do. And one thing that I know for sure is when you are going through life's ups and downs, because nobody is exempt.
No one.
Okay?
No one.
From the complications that life provides.
No
So
one.
when I look at you, and I remember hearing about your background of, you know, being adopted,
Yeah.
your biological mother
Yeah.
at 4 years old,
Abandoned me.
abandoned you. I wanted to be, yes,
Yeah.
abandoned you. You know, you went through life thinking one man was your father, and
Yeah.
it turned out recently to
At 52.
At 52.
53.
53 to be someone else.
Yeah.
But to be 4 years old,
Yeah.
knowing that the woman
Yeah.
who is supposed to protect you
Yes.
did abandon you,
Yeah.
and you talked openly about being a rebellious teen.
Yeah.
You know, so much so getting expelled from school and all of
Yeah.
those things.
And I also had a learning disorder, so that helped
Yeah,
too.
which I thought was fascinating to be able to really talk about that. But how does someone, Kirk, who had a tough upbringing at 4 years old is able to still thank God for life, and then to be able to service him in the way you have been doing for multiple decades? Because a lot of people count themselves out. The community count them out, right? But what was it about your past and the traumatic things you experienced that never allowed you to think that I can't worship God?
The decades of the Carlos Kings that have sat with me and said that song, that moment. The decades of the Carlos Kings that have looked at me and said that moment ministered to me. The decades of the Carlos Kings that have seen me perform or something. The decades of the Carlos Kings that have said that I've articulated something that has been profound in their own space. Those are the things that remind me that my limp was for someone else's glory. And so if I've had to be crushed so that God can be exposed in someone else's life, then bring on the crushing. It's been necessary. It's been painful. Oh, still painful. I mean, I fight tears even talking to you now, because it is, like I have an older son now that I love dearly, and I am seeing him deteriorate, and I can't do anything to help him because he has to want to help himself. I've spent the money. I've done all the rehabs. I've done all of the, we've done the begging. We've done the pleading. I've done the fighting. I've done the cussing. And These are the things that keep me tender to God, you know? I don't live a celebrity life. I don't. I live a nigga life. I live a nigga life, man. My life is full of, I mean, I didn't enjoy being told that a man that I never knew was my father. You know what I mean? Like that didn't make me go, oh, yippee. I mean, you know, it's like, it can feel cruel that all my life, 10 minutes away, a man was my biological father. 10 minutes. It's a 10-minute walk from my house to his house. I've made that walk many times now since I discovered he was my father. I've made that walk many, many times as a grown-ass man. It feels cruel. It feels cruel. Can you imagine all the mistakes I've made in my life, not having a man in my life to tell me where not to step? All the mistakes, all the failures I've made because I didn't know where to step. It feels cruel. Feels like a cruel cosmic joke. But when I can walk past a mirror and God downloads Imagine Me, when I can walk past a mirror, or I can be up at 1 o'clock in the morning and God gives me a Take Me to the King, when I can be driving at 23 years old in a car that I can't even afford the tags for, and I got paper tags on it that have way expired, and I get pulled over and have to go to jail because I can't afford tags because I've had another warrant for tags that got expired as well too. And on my way, God gives me a song called While We Sing. It's not a celebrity life. It's a life that God uses to keep using you, so that the Carlos Kings can invite you on their shows and sit down and talk. There is no sitting with Carlos without a cross. You wouldn't know me if I didn't have a thorn.
Is that what keeps you going as you are still, even today, battling the lack of relationship that you have with your oldest son, because you know what it's like to be abandoned? And I look in your eyes and I can see you getting emotional now. Is it difficult for you even today to know that I know what it's like to be abandoned, and the biggest thing that I believe you're trying not to do is abandon him, although it appears, and if I misquote, please let me know.
You're fair, you're fair, you're fine. You be very comfortable to talk about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where do you think things went wrong between you and your oldest son?
I believe that as you follow his life, and he has made his life for public display, I believe that you can, in your own spirits, as every person can, you can see that there's more of internal struggles that are not environmental. They are not just from experiences, but I knew early on. We knew early, and you know, a lot of times in the Black community, certain topics of health are not part of our narrative. We don't know. We haven't been exposed to certain, and I'm very cautious to communicate a lot because my son's 37, and he also has his own story to tell.
Right.
And I do not want to expose a lot of his life for him. Yeah, he has that right too.
Correct.
Whenever he wants to. I'm only sharing what has been very public, that people can see a lot of times in the deterioration of certain moods and behaviors that you can see on his social media and a lot of his platforms. And it doesn't take a rocket scientist to see that there's, and so those acts are not just environmental. And so as a young boy at age 9 and 10, we were trying to figure out how much of it was disciplinary, always having to be called up to the school and, dealing with disciplinary issues and not knowing at times that they were deeper issues. And once again, we are very trepidatious in our community when it comes to mental conversations, and you just don't have the language. You don't have the language. You don't know much, and so that's my perspective. That's the perspective of his mother. That's the perspective of other professionals and other great men that have been in his life, while at the same time he still has a freedom to tell his own story. And he may have another story, and whatever his story is, he has the right to tell it. He has the right to tell his story. All I know, all I can tell you is that there is a community of people that cannot sleep until he wins. We will not be okay until he's well. That there are there's a community, there's a village of mothers and fathers and uncles and cousins and siblings and youth pastors and unks and play unks and mentors and homies that have been there and OGs that are all in the stands rooting and cheering and praying for there to be a beautiful ending for his story. And so I want him and I want people to know that there is unlimited love available to him. And he knows it.
Mm-hmm.
It's there. It's there. From mama to daddy to mama to Paw and Nana and he's a beautiful soul. He is. He's a genius. And a lot of times those minds are very different minds. You know what I mean?
Oh, I get it.
Genius minds are different minds.
Yes, and that's why sometimes people who are really geniuses, they sometimes become alcoholics or addicts in other ways because they're trying to find ways to rationalize their thoughts process or just like what's going on internally.
He's a genius.
Yeah.
He's a genius. He's so smart. And that's my firstborn. And I miss him. We miss him.
When was the last time you spoke to him?
The conversations now need to be inclusive of things that allow him to be able to be present. Is that fair?
I get what you're saying. Yes, it is. Yes.
Yeah. And we want that for him. It's very difficult at times to have conversation. And let me tell you what's also beautiful. You want to talk about God? Let me tell you what's so bananas about God. The man that I found, or the man that found, or the man that we found each other, that's my biological father, that's what he does for a living.
What?
His career is helping people that struggle in these areas. That's what he does for a living.
Look at God.
Is that not bananas? So everybody is on deck. Everybody is on deck. Oh, and this man that is now my father, these are his only grandkids. So he's taken a personal investment because he's now saving his own bloodline. Isn't that crazy? So there's a whole squad, angels in heaven and angels on earth, fighting for the salvation of my oldest. Oh yeah. And we won't stop fighting.
Good.
Won't stop fighting. But on the other side of his side, there has to be some help to give clarity.
Mm-hmm.
So that when everyone's communicating, there can be a present individual that is able to comprehend the help, if that makes sense.
It makes perfect sense. It makes perfect sense.
Is that clear?
It's very clear.
Okay.
It's very clear. And just as I transition out of this conversation of this topic, I just want you to say to my audience, for the record, because there's people who say, due to your son's openness about his bisexuality, that was an issue.
Let me say something to you. I am a lover of every human. I love people. I love people. I have people that will be able to stand with me on any platform and to say that KIRK Franklin shows us love. KIRK Franklin shows people love. You may have heard that even.
I've heard nothing different than that.
Yes.
It's always been that.
Yes.
Even today,
Yes.
I feel it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. I want people to see Jesus in me. That's what I want people to see. I've said to my children when they were younger, my son and I've had some beautiful conversations when he was a young boy. Beautiful conversations. And I told my son, there will never be any situation in your life that I will ever stop loving you. I will love who you love. And I will stand where you stand. We may not always agree. We may not, and that's okay, because there's no monolithic ideal at all to life. But love will be the leading narrative. And I'm going to love you, and I want you to also disagree with me about things you disagree with me upon. But you can still love me and still feel the love and protection for me, because at the end of the day, that's my son, and ain't nobody gonna take my son away from me. That's my son. And I'm gonna love my son. Who in the world has somebody in their life that they love and they may agree with every process and procedure, may have every same view? We're gonna have different views. We're gonna have interesting views. We're gonna have nuanced views. And that's what humans can do. I was having a conversation with one of my brothers just the other day that is same gender loving. And I was blown away by...
Your biological brother?
No. Just one of my bros.
Okay.
Just one of my bros. That's us, same gender loving. And I was blown away that a lot of his views are totally counterintuitive to the majority of the queer community. And I was like, what? He was like, and he'll say, it's an ever-evolving thought. Am I lying or telling the truth?
You're telling the truth.
It is an ever-evolving thought process of every community.
Yes. But what you said, we're all not monolithic. Listen, as a openly gay man, we don't all have the same thought. And what is so interesting too is, for example, I'm an openly gay man, right? I'm an openly gay Black man, right? From Detroit, Michigan. So I have ideologies and things because of my faith in God. Obviously, listen, people disagree when I say this. Like, I didn't ask to be gay. I wasn't like, I didn't grow up and was influenced by anything, because I was born in 1979 and with 6 brothers and 3 sisters.
Did you have a Jerry curl?
Well, no, I had an afro.
Okay.
I looked like Michael from Good Times.
Wow.
Okay?
That wasn't the best. Michael's afro wasn't the best.
It wasn't the best. Well, no, I have coarse hair. I mean, I have no hair now for a good reason. So because of my faith and my belief in, like, I was born this way, and people disagree with that. There's people who believe they were influenced. Whatever your thought process is. So I love the fact that when it comes to you, and I find this to be so fascinating about you, the reason why I believe wholeheartedly your career has amassed to be 4 years old, 55 years old, and been doing this for more than 3 decades is because you allow yourself to be human. And what I want you to know is this. There are a lot of people in our community who, and listen, you know more than I do, right? About the fact that there's a lot of pastors, bishops, gospel singers, whatever, who on the pulpit, they display this one ideology.
Hate.
Yes. Hate. And but also this one size fits all in terms of, like, infidelity or whatever, that's a sin. But they're a big contradiction. The reason why I believe you have garnered the masses, from like the Gen Zers, the Xers, to the millennials, to the baby boomers, is because you have allowed yourself to be flawed. I mean, even when the phone call was leaked between your son, you're not on social media like that, and good thing, but we all said that's a father speaking to his son. And just because this man is a Christian singer.
His 33-year-old son.
Yes, it was sort of like he's human. Even today, you said.
And I can't justify it. It was still wrong.
Well, no, and I'm not saying it was right. Yeah. What I'm saying is you did not make excuses for it. You allowed yourself to be seen as a human. You, in my opinion, had never allowed the cloth to determine your characteristics as a human being.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Even today, you said the N-word to me. You said ass. Like you are somebody that's sort of like, I'm still KIRK Franklin. And just because I preach the word of God through music, through word, doesn't mean that I'm not human. How do you reconcile that? Because you are aware a lot of your peers don't operate that way. And that's why a lot of people shun the church, because they feel like they're walking to a territory that is extremely judgmental, because everybody's perfect. And you allow yourself not to be seen as perfect.
I don't know. I don't know what I do versus what my peers do. I really don't know, but because off camera, when I'm talking to people, they seem I do think that people feel the pressure of the culture of church. It's that there's church and there's the culture of church. You know, like the church is the hospital, right? And everybody should be welcomed, right? Everybody should be welcomed. You know, for example, you know, if homosexuality is a sin, then adultery is a sin. Fornication is a sin. Yes. Divorce is a sin. And none of them are bigger than the other. And so that's why I have never understood homophobia. I've never understood it, because if you, as a heterosexual man, what I have done in my life, what in the world gives me any justification to think I'm just I get confused, my guy. I don't understand how we do not see ourselves as sick patients that all need the doctor. But I don't understand it, because my thoughts, the things sometimes that come up in my heart, the in me that I see, I don't understand how I could ever have time to have conversations about who you're sleeping with. I need medicine. I need the doctor. And if you want to go to the hospital with me, you can come with me. But I'm not going to stand and say, you need the doctor. I need the doctor more. You can come with me. You can come with me, and I can tell you how dope he is, but I can't condemn you and invite you at the same time. I'm trying to win people. I'm trying to win my son. I'm trying to win my family. I'm trying to win people. I'm trying to win people to Jesus, man. I'm trying to show people the love and grace of God. And I don't know what makes me different than anyone else, because I feel like I'm not supposed to be different than anybody else. Like I think it's awkward when I hear that I'm different, because I'm not supposed to be different. Like, I shouldn't be doing anything different. I'm a broken man trying to follow a healed God. That's the part that confuses me. I don't think there should be some exclusive personality in front of people that I have as a Christian that should be rare. And I don't know what that is. And I don't know why that translates to people that way. I don't know, maybe because I'm so desperate. Maybe because maybe I'm just too damn honest. I don't know. You know, is I'd rather tell the truth and tell on myself than for people to try to question anything about me. You know, I mean, Carlos. Most of my life, I've had my sexuality questioned. I'm little. You know what I'm saying? I think I like clothes a little bit.
You are one of my
I try to
fashion
drink.
icons next to Steve Harvey, Pharrell.
Yo, Steve has been killing it.
Steve has been killing it.
Steve has been killing it lately.
No.
Unc been killing it.
I mean, you got them Celine boots, you know?
Yeah, but
you be dressing. You love a Mary. You love a Louis Vuitton. I study KIRK Franklin.
That's great. And then I came up in gospel music, where a lot of my brothers were feminine men, but they were great friends to me. They were beautiful souls to me. So, and
did it hurt you though when people question your sexuality?
Oh, yeah.
It did.
Oh, yeah. When I was a young boy, yes.
How early on do you remember your sexuality being questioned?
Middle school and high school.
Really?
Middle school and high school. Yeah, it's because when I was in choir, but because I've always been in the arts. And then I was adopted by a woman. So I think that I probably maybe, was very comfortable in my femininity as a man, like my sexuality for me was never a space where it was anything but heterosexual. And I'm not saying that in any cocky space. I've just always been, but I've always been loving and compassionate to people. And maybe also because of my lack of family, because I didn't have siblings. It was just me and the lady that adopted me. And it was a very lonely life. And because church was my home, and again, a lot of the guys in the choir were feminine men. A lot of, the organist, the choir director, but these were people that showed me love. They were nice and kind to me. I remember being homeless, man. I remember being homeless when I got Carrie's mama pregnant. A woman, because she was an old church lady that adopted me, she put me out. She said, you can't live here. She said, you got to go get a job. You got to get married, because that was their generation. She put me out. And one of the guys at the church that I played at, same gender loving individual, he and his mama let me come stay with them for a while. He didn't have to do that. They didn't have to do that. They did not have to give me that couch for a minute. They didn't have to do that. They did that for me. How the hell am I going to be? You know what I'm saying? It's like they did not have to give me a place to stay, bro. They gave me a place to stay. And I thank God for now. And he's gone through some health things. And because God blessed my career, whatever you need. And we know that period of the 80s and what a lot of what was happening to people's health. Yeah. So it's like, for me, it's like whatever you need. And I've taken care of whatever he's needed. I've taken care of it, and you understand the language.
No, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
I follow.
Yes.
I follow fully.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. I don't know why Christianity looks like a private club that everybody can get in. I don't know. I want to be outside the club on the block with the broken, with the real ones. I mean, I want to be out there with people. I love people.
No, and look, and that is so obvious when it comes to like just the way your interactions are with people. And even when I look at the fact of your wife, Tammy.
Tammy's dope. Shout out to Tammy Franklin. With my camera. Shout out to Tammy Franklin.
She's very easy on the eyes. Tammy's fine.
Yeah.
She's fine.
And she be sharp too.
Oh, no, she do. Yeah. No.
As I shop for her.
You do?
Man.
You buy her clothes?
Man. Yeah.
Because she be fresh.
Ask her.
You're like her own personal stylist. No, what's so fascinating about Tammy, when I did the show Behind Every Man, and it was the opportunity.
That's right, you did do that.
Yes, I produced that show.
Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah, and we got a chance to pretty much highlight Tammy. And I want the world to know that KIRK said yes immediately. And not only did you say yes, you allow us, this is during COVID, you allow us to interview her, be in your house, and do all these things. And what's so interesting is,
Did you come to the house?
I didn't come to the house because it was COVID. We had to send the gear, but we
Okay.
had people outside waiting just to make sure things were good. And you even threw a watch party for her.
Yeah.
I remember everything. And throughout that entire episode is when I realized from you, Steve Harvey, LeBron James, even Gucci Man, when it comes to a man who finds a wife, finds a good thing. And even the story about how your paths crossed in the church and how you guys didn't know that your paths did cross until years later. But you talk openly about how this woman pretty much saved you from yourself. You know.
Yeah. Tammy, and I say this all the time, Tammy would be a superhero with or without me. You know, Tammy comes from a family that I can, it was almost like a make-believe TV show kind of family. Like Tammy's mother and father, she just lost her father a few months ago, and they're still grieving because he was such a superhero. Like he was he was just a presence of a man. But Tammy for me, I look up to Tammy and I think that Tammy is everything that I would have wanted if like when I watched the way that my children respond to Tammy, there have been times that I've been jealous and envious because I wish that I would have had a mother like that. Like she's just the pillar of an amazing human. She's just an amazing human. And it has nothing to do with me. I ain't made Tammy nothing. Tammy was great. Tammy was great from the beginning. Oh yeah. Tammy is. You will not find a heart and a soul that's pure. It's Tammy Franklin. Yeah. I mean, and I honor her and I respect her and I'm grateful. My children are who they are because of Tammy, even who she was with Carry On. I mean, she was so adamant about everything had to include him. Everything. There was nothing that didn't happen that he was not included. I mean, she fought for every moment for him to be a part of whatever was happening with any other of our children. It was Tammy. Tammy would be intentional to even work things through. Sometimes when me and his mom weren't getting along, Tammy would be intentional about calling and trying to work things through because I was being a butthole. And I didn't, I was on my nigga stuff, you know what I'm saying? It would be Tammy. It'd be Tammy being the peacemaker, And Carry On's mom's an amazing woman. Carry On's mom's an amazing woman too. I mean, we were young, but it would be Tammy. And so much respect to both of them. Both of them fought to try to save Carry On. Both of them. It's so, I'm telling you, man, the amount of love that I've seen for him, but Tammy, that's Tammy Franklin. That is Tammy Franklin.
When you decided to marry her, obviously, y'all been married for...
In January, to be 30 years.
30 years. And you have been the KIRK Franklin for that amount of time, right?
It seems like it.
So in the industry, right? Because listen, we all know that the entertainment industry is, there's so much temptation, right? Was it challenging for you to be a young man married to this woman who was like, that's a good woman, I'm a do right by her? Was it challenging when this industry is full of women just trying to like be with a celebrity and be with KIRK Franklin and you have the kids and the wife at home? Was it hard for you to try to not fall into the prey of the temptation?
I always had a village around me. Like my singers and musicians and my team, they've been with me. And so I've been able to just be around people that I've always been around. Like I'm around the same people. So, I don't, it, so I didn't come up in spaces where it was outside of the world that I lived in, and so I'm just very grateful for the community that I've been in, and just very thankful for the fact that I've had some good men in my life. I've had some good mentors in my life, and I have I I have wanted to do everything that I knew to do to try to fight. Not perfect, but I have always wanted to try to be around people that I looked up to and I admired in spaces like that, and still do. Like my manager's an incredible guy, upright guy. My former manager was an upright guy. My former man, my road manager was an upright guy. So I've had some, I've just had men, not perfect men, but men that were focused and men that were intentional. And so, I'm very grateful for the community that I've been able to just stay in and be in because it has helped me try to walk through life. Very grateful for that.
You are a workhorse.
I am.
You love to work. You're
I do.
always touring. Your kids, as we were doing the Behind Every Man special, they echo the same things about their mom when it comes to how Tammy was holding down the fort. Was it hard to accept the responsibility of being the breadwinner, making sure that your kids and your wife had a lifestyle where they were able to be safe? Because I believe that, can money buy you happiness? Yes, but it's temporary. But I believe that...
Can I put my foot up here?
Go for it, go for it.
You sure? Thank
Yeah.
you.
But I believe that money buys you freedom, right? And what I believe when it comes to, especially a man who's married to his wife, there's this dedication of, I'm gonna work my butt off so that my wife and my kids don't have lack. But sometimes that comes at a cost of the relationship with the kids or with the wife.
Yes.
Do you sometimes feel like you've chosen your career over your marriage?
Yes. Yes. It is the duality of the reality. It is the duality of the reality that you are a provider, but you're also, it's because, see, music was there before they were there. And I think that's the dynamic of the tension. Like Tam and I didn't get married and we were living in her mom and daddy's basement. And, we had a little baby that she was watching while I went to go do auditions. I mean, by the time, God bless, by the time I got married, God had blessed Why We Sing to be a platinum album. The Christmas album was a gold album. So, there was already this, like I got married on a Saturday and went on tour. I was on a play with Dave Talbert called He Say, She Say, but What Does God Say? I got married on Saturday and was on the road for months that Tuesday. And I would have never advised that to anyone, and that was very difficult, because I do find myself submerged in what I do. And a lot of it is because what I do is more natural to me. Being domestic, being a husband and a father, that's where I had to work. Because again, I never saw it modeled. That was something, I wasn't raised in a family. I wasn't raised in a home that like my adopted mother, she never told me she was proud of me. She never told me I would be anything. So I don't know words of affirmation. I didn't know. And of course, when I first got married, I overdid it with the kids. I bought them everything they wanted. You know what I'm saying? I did, there's not a thing that my wife didn't want, and this is, these are not things Tammy always wanted, but, my wife never didn't have a nanny or a housekeeper. From day one, I'm 25 years old, 26 years old, nanny, housekeeper, our entire marriage. Even to this day, nanny, housekeeper, because I wanted them to not feel anything. I wanted to provide everything they needed, is because that was the thing that I thought that I could be good at. A lot of the other things domestically, they were very foreign to me because I never saw it. But provider, okay, this is something I can do good. And I leaned into it while at the same time leaning into something that I already naturally am. Like, I'm a creative. Songs wake me up. You know, I have to leave restaurants and go outside and leave voice notes. I mean, you know.
Really?
Oh.
It haunts you. But in a good way, meaning.
It's a good way for me, but it can be the challenge of what you're saying because it's intrusive. It's intrusive. And so, yes, my career often has been the other woman. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And I try my best to manage it, to do the best I can, but it's also the thing that provides. And that dichotomy.
Have you gotten it right 30 years later?
I think you got to ask everybody around me. You got to ask everybody around me. It would be so arrogant for me to make that response.
Yeah.
Who am I to determine what people's hearts feel? You know, I have done the best that I've known to do, and I will continue to try to do everything I can to do the best. Music was the first thing that told me it loved me.
Kirk. It saved you.
It was my medicine before I knew what medicine was.
I mean, look, I can relate to you so much when you talk like that, because that's real. That's real. And one thing, because I watch your new show, that's on YouTube.
Do you like it?
Do I like it?
Thank you.
I love it. The
Thank
conversations you are having with these black men. The episode with Tyler Perry and Jeezy and Derek Hayes. I mean,
I hate you, Ron.
I mean, you have given purpose for black men to have a voice and camaraderie amongst each other so that they're allowed to be seen, because what I know for sure is being raised as a little black boy, we're not allowed to have feelings.
Yeah.
You know, my father was so much of a strict disciplinarian. It took me, this is a true story, I was 25 when I realized it's okay for a man to hold an umbrella.
Really?
Because my father said, boys don't hold umbrellas. You walk outside in that rain with a hat on. And I just thought like, oh, I guess boys don't.
Come on, Pops.
Like, even today, my brothers will be like, we'll see an umbrella, people like, no, we good.
That's crazy.
Like, that's how we were raised, and not to have...
Umbrellas traumatizing you is wild work. That is dirty work. Let me call my therapist. I just saw an umbrella. That's dirty work, boy.
To this day, I'm cool with it now, but it took me to be in New York City, walking everywhere, and my friends would be like, buy this $5 umbrella for the court. I'm like, my father said men don't wear umbrellas. And they're like, what are you talking about?
That is crazy.
Isn't that crazy?
Work.
So your show, when I say to you, it has provided so much clarity for me. And you are really using your celebrity to celebrate others.
Wow.
And I need you to know that. I think it's a good idea. I told Phil Thornton,
Wow.
I said, look, me. I said, but first of all, who's producing this? Because it needs to be me. He said, it's me and Kirk. And I said, all right. But I said that to say, I love the fact that you're using your celebrity to celebrate others. And you're doing it in a way where black men are able to now have these conversations. And even when you spoke about, you know, you making mistakes early in your career with finances and not understanding taxes and what does this mean and that mean? And how Mr. Perry said, you have to forgive yourself because it's not like you knew.
Yes.
When you don't know, it's okay to not have known. It's when you do know and you do the wrong thing anyway.
Yes.
So I just wanted to say to you, I love that you have created that.
Thank you.
That you launched that. You often go viral with that. And recently you went viral because the show had this moment between NLE Choppa and Jonathan Majors
Yes.
and the whole thing about the Bible.
Yes.
What do you have to say about that? Because I'm pretty sure you had no idea that that was going to be the main thing that, till this day, is still being talked about.
Yeah, I know. Well, first of all, I'm very humbled and grateful that someone in your space, because you've done a lot of content, that you are complimenting our attempt to really try to impact culture. That's a huge dub for me. So that's big coming from you, sir.
Thank you.
Um, and just it's been amazing, the response to Den. It has really been amazing. And the amount of women that watch Den has been amazing. You know, so this last episode is, I think, what was very interesting is that, there are even people in my community that criticize me that I don't evangelize as much, or that I didn't lead him to Christ in that moment, or that I didn't, make clear the gospel at that very moment. And I think that what my community has to understand, that Den is not a Christian show. I'm a Christian. But Den is not a Christian show. And I try to find the moments that I'm able to implement my faith, while at the same time having moments to also implement my faith by doing something else, allowing people to speak.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Allowing people to speak is also Christ-like. Bible says, be quick to listen and slow to speak. So I'm allowing people to speak. And before I could respond, Jonathan responded. So after Jonathan responded about, have you read your Bible, read it again, I wasn't going to tag team on that and then make it a thing where now there's this kind of double teaming on theology for a moment. That just was a moment. And a lot of these journeys that we have with people when it comes to discipleship, a lot of it happens when the camera is off.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of times, church folk, we want everything to happen in real time in front of us. It's like, prove to me that you're a part of the gospel. Show me that you're about Jesus. And everything ain't going to be an altar call right there in front of you. Some things are the journey. Discipleship is a journey. And so I think that it was a beautiful moment for me because it was a human moment. Human moments. It wasn't a produced moment. It wasn't a contrived moment. It was a human moment. And I have so much respect for NLE. I have so much respect for Jonathan. And I'm very grateful that the NLE trusted me to come on the show.
Mm-hmm.
And I pray that I handled him with compassion and respect and honor. And because that's my goal. My goal is to facilitate conversations. That's my goal. Facilitate conversations and have safe spaces where people can be as vulnerable, where men can be as vulnerable and transparent as possible.
Yeah. One more viral question I got for you that you had nothing to do with, but I want to get your thoughts. You saw that Marvin Sapp went viral for asking for a donation from the church. And people took that and used that as a symbol of, see, this is why we don't go to church. They're begging for money, without having the full context. A clip was shown, and the woman who was there that he was talking to even said, like, you guys misinterpreted what he was saying. Long story short, Tyler Perry decided to donate $100,000 to that particular church. What were your thoughts on that? Do you feel like, because I tithe, but listen, I do it because of my own belief.
Yes.
I believe in giving 10% back to the church.
Yeah.
I give it back to my local church in Detroit called Faith Clinic. Shout out to Bishop Hicks and First Lady Hicks. Because for me, and I can only speak for myself, I love tithing. I am a cheerful giver.
Wow, that's dope. That's dope.
Something happens to me. It's a transformative experience when I give.
That's
because
dope. That's dope.
I love the fact that I get to do something for others. And I'm very blessed with the opportunities God has provided for me. And although I thank him multiple times a day, and I wake up worshiping him, and I read my scriptures, and I play gospel music, and yours a lot, and I do the work, I am a cheerful giver because I know that that's an extension of me telling God and showing God that I don't take what you have provided for me for granted, and I'm going to give it back, and in the hopes of helping out not only the church to remain, but to also for them to use it for not their, but for the community.
Yes.
When you look at the conversation that arose with the Marvin Sapp clip about tithing and the church asking for money, what are your thoughts on that?
I think that my thoughts are very clear, and I feel very comfortable communicating them. I do agree that when some of these moments, whether it's a Marvin Sapp or Marvin Winans moment goes viral, is that we don't know all context, and we don't know all the nuances of what was happening before it and after that moment. And because of that reality, because we are no longer in an analog society where we are able to have these insulated moments within the church community, where if you're part of church culture and you were raised in church, you understand certain nuances of church, um, church philosophical execution, right? Um, and now that we are in an era where everything is open to interpretation, I do believe that now is the time to evolve and rethink some of the methodology of how we execute, not because it is a contradiction theologically, but I think that if it hurts our witness, there is nothing wrong with us revamping and rethinking how we communicate in these spaces so that if it does happen to appear in environments that don't understand the ecosystems and the language, that it's not controversial. So I think to continue to execute in traditional ways or maybe even sometimes antiquated ways that are not always parallel to scripture. Some of these are certain traditions. Some of these are preferences. Some of these are just methodology. Some of these are just nuanced ways in which we execute as a culture and a community. Sometimes it's cultural, right? It's Christian cultural within urban communities, or sometimes Pentecostal communities, or just whatever the communities are. I do think because the microscope is on us more than ever before, it would be important. Like there are certain, for example, I give you a great example. There's certain things, and you and I both know. You and I both know. People think I'm about as radical as hell, right? I get a lot of controversy, and I've always gotten it right. For people to think I was twerking, I was not twerking. That wasn't even a good. If that was a twerk, that was a horrible twerk. It wasn't even a good twerk. You know, that wasn't a twerk. I was just having fun with.
Not y'all saying KIRK Franklin is twerking. My God.
Yes. And it wasn't a good. It wasn't. It was not like a top shelf twerk. It was like mid. It was a mid. It was a mid. You know, pam pam. I was like a pam pam. You know. Pam, pam. I was playing with my friends. I played too much publicly. Me and the Clark sisters had such a good time on tour backstage. We were having fun, and my behind kept the fun. I've been acting stupid again. Bam bam. I just, but there are a couple of things that I don't know if you've ever noticed about me. I have no earrings. I have no tattoos. I have no, not because these things are sin, but because I knew that my method of music and style was already edgy. I never wanted to do anything that would add any unnecessary conversation. Not because they were sinful. There were just certain things that I chose to do so that it wouldn't distract from me already looking crazy because I move around and dance around and jump around. You know what I mean? So there's just certain things that I'm like, if you follow me on socials, you ain't never seen me post it in front of a car.
No.
You think about it. You've never seen me post it at the crib, never. Not because those things are wrong. It's just that I have tried to be very intentional that because I'm already on the edge, I don't want to do anything that will be unnecessary distractions. So I'm saying that I do humbly believe that it may be time to consider that now that the world is watching, see, there were things insulated that we could do and say because we all understood the language. It's almost like Black culture.
Yes. Oh, yeah. And it's like the kitchen table talk. Not everything is meant for public consumption. I received that.
So I believe that there are certain things now that have been part of our church culture as people that maybe we need to reconsider how we articulate and communicate for the masses now that they are now able to have the access to the inner workings of who we are.
I received that. That was good. Okay, before I let you go, you have to talk about
And
this.
it wasn't a good twerk, was it? Did you see
No,
the twerk?
I mean, Kirk, you wasn't twerking.
It wasn't.
You be jamming. You be, you're James Brown on stage. Listen, you're Michael
All
Jackson.
it was a bam, bam.
What's banging though is Abel. Abel is an amazing song.
Wow.
It really is.
Now, would you say that? Would you say that if you didn't like how real is like Carlos? Could you would you if you didn't dig it? Would you say you didn't dig it?
Oh, I just told you that I believe, again, long live love, right? Is your best.
Wow.
Is your best. The follow-up wasn't better than that one.
Gotcha.
So
Father's Day.
Yes.
Father's Day.
Father's Day wasn't better than Long Live Love.
Gotcha.
So I will tell you the truth.
Gotcha.
Abel is an amazing record. And I'm going to tell you what it is. You have the ability to sort of take a gospel song and add this flavor of rhythmic blues that makes it feel like I can play this alongside, an R&B record by Beyonce or somebody, right? Like it's just one of those things where you have that ability to do that. And that's why when it comes to your music, I'm a humongous fan of your work.
Wow.
Listen, and it's funny because ask our mutual barber, Tim, I tell him all the time, he's like, who's your favorite gospel artist? I'm like, it's KIRK FRANKLin. And he said, not like Fred Hammond, Shirley Caesar, Dorinda Clark Cole. I'm like, all amazing, I listen to.
Fire.
I said, but ask anybody who knows Carlos King, KIRK FRANKLin, you are the best to have ever done gospel. Your songs speak to me.
Wow.
I play your music weekly. It's Nicki Minaj, Beyonce, and KIRK FRANKLin.
That's
my holy trinity. Carlos King's holy trinity.
Wow, do you hear this?
No,
this
it's real.
Fire. This is humble. That's humble.
My holy trinity is Beyonce, Nicki Minaj, and KIRK FRANKLin.
That is.
I think you are. Look, I don't know what God did to you, but I think in our prayers sometimes I'm like, well, God, did you leave some leftovers? Could we have a little sprinkle of the ingredients? Is it 1 cup of this and is it 2 scoops of that?
Lord have mercy.
Because whatever you gave KIRK, we want a dash of that.
Lord have mercy.
We want a dash of it.
Lord have mercy.
So,
Lord have mercy.
you, my brother, you on that piano on stage, and you wear all white, and your suits be suiting, and I'll be like, not only is he gifted, he be fly, then he be dancing, and sometimes twerking, but outside of all that, you are a musical genius, and that's why I know.
Oh wow! Okay.
I know that sometimes, you're your own worst critic, but I had to tell you, Abel is a bop.
I appreciate that.
It's a bop.
That means a lot being around. It's because I've been around since 1932. And so that was a joke.
I'm like, no. As I'm cackling, I'm like,
that means a lot. That after all this, just amount of time, that I'm grateful that God is still loaning me something that people connect with. I'm so grateful. So grateful. It's amazing.
Yes. Yeah. So we can expect the album to drop.
2026.
Okay.
2026, and it's going to be a. Ron, can I tell him what it's going to be or not tell him? Yeah, it's going to be something that I've never done before. Yeah.
Now, if you want a focus group
I would love that.
of one of
love that.
your fans to
I would
like
love that.
listen and give you feedback,
I would love that.
I will volunteer
Yo,
myself.
that would be so dope. Yo, so like, what are you thinking? Maybe like you, like you, and maybe a few other people, or how do you want to do it?
Like it could be me. It could be look, me and Tamar.
Okay.
Because Tamar has a good ear. We're friends, and you're friends with her too.
Or maybe somebody that you know in the space that you.
Oh yeah, no, and it'll be
Yeah.
other people. But you know,
Yeah.
because Tamar's watching this, and she'll be mad at me if I didn't say she could come with me. Which is why she FaceTimed me last night. It was like, I'm having.
Shout out to Tamar.
Shout out to Tamar. But no, so it'll be me and some people.
I would love
And
that. I would love
you know me,
that.
I'm honest, and I would tell you the truth because
I would love, a focus group on the
Yeah.
new body of work would be so ill.
Kirk, it goes without saying, listen, I have had this podcast since April of 2022. And God has blessed this podcast to, we shot to #1 on the TV film side of Apple Podcasts upon 2 to 3 days of launch. And I do not take this moment for granted.
Wow.
I'm telling you, listen, in middle school when you drop, the reason why I can sing, and when I look at my life now, and nothing is by happenstance, I give all the glory and credit to God for everything in my life, good or bad, because the bad stuff that happens is for me to learn something from it,
Yes.
and for me to grow out of it. And honestly, and listen, I'm sure you will agree with this, when anything bad happens, I always feel like it's God saying, don't forget about me. Don't forget about me, because I'm the only one who could take you out of this if you lean on to me. And I'm also shaping you so you could be of service to others. So I want you to know that I thank you for being of service to me, to the world, through your song. And just because things have happened to you, like the desire of you and your son, reconciling one day, which I'm not like some sort of like prophet, so I'm not saying that. But I need to let you know that God is in this room and he's speaking to me for me to tell you that it will happen. It will happen because of,
and I needed to hear that.
Because of the work you're doing, and also because of how careful you have been in not setting things backwards.
Wow.
And that's pleasing to him.
Wow.
Because you did not say anything to make things go backwards. And
did I handle him with care today?
More than I could have imagined. And just so you know, being transparent, I was even instructed, don't talk about that subject because of the delicacy. So that's why I'm telling you, God was in the room, and it got brought up because he wanted to. I didn't ask it. And this too shall pass. This too shall pass.
Wow.
Yeah. So you'll be good.
Thank you.
You'll be good. Thank you, Kirk.